Welcome to Daily Buzz. Watch JMPD officials suspended after viral video.
All right, on to this now. So a group of Johannesburg Metro Police has been issued with suspension notices. This is after a video went viral on social media showing them partying next to a dam, believed to be drinking alcohol while sitting in a marked state vehicle. The Metro's internal unit says it is conducting an independent investigation to ensure full accountability and transparency. We're going to get reaction from the city's community safety MMC in Mgcini. That video is up, but let's also listen in to what is actually seen and heard in that video. That's the video, and it's gotten a lot of people quite surprised, right? And to really talk to us about what's been done and also what we're looking at in that video, we're joined by the MMC for Public Safety in the city of Johannesburg, Mr. Mgcini. Mr. Tshwaku, good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Your first moment seeing that video and your thoughts when you first came across it?
I was embarrassed and angry, extremely. And also saw the abuse of, the state, the resources, and also embarrassing the JMPD and the city of Johannesburg. So we're extremely furious. I mean, from myself to the mayor to the other MMCs, the video just went viral and viral. Oh. So yeah, we're not taking this lightly, and we're actually going to be coming hard to those individuals that were there. Yeah. Because they should have known better.
So just to get the clarification here in this video, are all of these individuals that we're seeing JMPD members? So are officers?
So this is what happened. JMPD has a choir, okay? Mm. So this choir is always performing on our drills at times, in funerals, in ceremonies that the JMPD has. And, it's not being, we're not paying it anyway, So it has been a tradition there at the JMPD that, at the end of the year, the only thing that they can thank the choir, for their efforts and all of that is if they say they're going to to another province or to another municipality, So with this one, they say that the choir was going to a team building exercise, at Tekwini. So they were supposed. They said the chief says the norm would be saying that what you can do is that courteously is to give them a transport. The transport will take them from point A to point B. But if they have to go somewhere in the places of fun, in whatever they have to do, they can't use a marked car because that one is a marked car and it's got blue lights. So they should have known better. And what we have discovered now when we're doing the investigation, some of the people that were there are the retired JMPD officers. So in the choir itself, some of the people, they will be, retiring but they still part of the choir. They will allow them, invite them to come and help them and be with them in terms of the singing and not. And some of the individuals, that have been the ex-employees of the city, that have been in the choir of the JMPD, they will be there. So that is one of the violations that they actually even had as well. So look, we're very embarrassed, and we really like to apologize to the citizens of Johannesburg, to the country as a whole. That was actually really, really uncalled for. We immediately issued them with the notices of the suspension. We received their responses, so immediately they'll be, suspended automatically now, and then investigation will go in. We're going to constitute a disciplinary hearing, and we'll move a panel that will be looking now and the evidence that is coming in. So we are following now these, these processes, but mark my words, that thing will never happen at the JMPD. Anyway, it came at the right time because when I came in, I just saw I asked the question that some of the individuals that are there, they've got a car allowance, they call it local, but some of the people are actually driving, JMPD cars, going home with them and all of that. So I asked the chief, can you please review the vehicle policy? So that vehicle policy has been actually approved I think about two to 3 weeks ago in terms of when to use some vehicles, of the city and all of that. So with this one, Israel, it just show its face, its ugly face in terms. And then I asked them, we need to do a more investigative, and then what other activities besides a service delivery which are being done, because other people, they play sport, they do what is called an intermunicipality, those things. Sometimes they go to, end of the year functions and all of that. So you've got these gray areas of which now they'll be clarified and be sorted out by the policy that we have.
Here's the thing, MMC. It's one thing to say, okay, well, you've got this latest review of the policy in terms of how officers make use of the vehicles. But do we know if these officials were drinking alcohol? Because I don't know what the action then needs to be. And when our officials then spoke to these individuals that we see in these videos, are they aware that what they did is wrong?
I'm not going to lie to you. They are fully aware. And there's one superintendent that we were struggling to get hold of. And we're really treading carefully because the way that they have a feeling of the remorse is like some of them, they not even showing up to work. And the other one, we had to find home, we had to go and deliver the notices. So they know that the whole gravity of this thing, and also our officers at large, they know that when I deal with the issue, because when I came in, I said I use the cardinal pillar number 7 of the EFF, open, corrupt, free, and accountability. So everyone has to be accountable. I said I warned everyone when I came in that if you abuse the state resources, if you do corruption and crime, you are going to be on your own. We're going to come down like a ton of actually bricks. Okay. But if they're dying on the line of duty and they're doing the work, I'm prepared to really be on the side and actually fight. So this one is one of those issues as well. I mean, if you remember as well, we're still on the investigation of the death of Mphahlele as well. Remember, there was that sort of these commands that were given. The investigation now is about, to conclude. Those kind of things of being careless in terms of how you handle yourself and all of that in the JMPD, that one will come very hard. With this one as well, trust me, it's actually a big issue within the city and a big issue with the department itself, especially on the JMPD. And I told them that I'm not scared of anyone. Internal Affairs was asked to really act with immediate effect. Immediately when I saw that video, then heads were actually rolling already because letters were being sent to them flying. We actually told them to come back and because we want a full report. Some of them were to go and find them because they saw that they are in big trouble. Okay. And everyone is going to be accountable, mark my words.
Will they be going back to work, though, after this suspension? Is that the vision that you'd like to see them go back to work?
Look, let's go for the investigation. Okay. The submissions will be made, and I don't want to preempt in terms of the outcomes, but we must make an example, especially when people are abusing state resources in broad daylight. In terms of the alcohol, we don't have any facts as yet, so we will have to look at the investigation. Others, they will come in and they will testify because some of the individuals, there's some cooler boxes there. There was like some alcohol that was seen and all of that. So let us wait for the investigation. We'll update you in terms of the outcomes.
Yeah, thank you for that. Let's look at other issues because you've got a lot going on in the city of Johannesburg. Of course, the spaza shop issue, MMC continuing to be a massive problem. How are we looking in Johannesburg with these spaza shop raids at the moment?
Okay, we did. What we did is that, you see, we have a shortage of inspectors in the city. That has been an historical problem. So you have to inspect, and then JMPD will have to enforce. by law. So what we requested from the department is that, can we please do an inspection ourselves, not enforce inspection and check what is happening. So we've taken the whole units of JMPD, operations, the BMU, your specialized units, accidental units, everyone. We said, let us all split into the citywide and do an inspection on the spaza shop. I just gave them only 2 hours because they had to go back to their points and continue with the work. So we managed to do 496 spaza shops, all of us. And then what we found out is that out of those, about 100 are locally owned and compliant, and the rest were not. In other words, they're not being zoned, they're not being zoned properly. Number 2, they don't have any building plans. They don't comply with the EMS. And also, they don't have any certificate of acceptance from the environmental health. And our startling discovery is to saying that with these spaza shops, you've got the owners. The owners are South Africans. Komama nabo gogo no auntie bethu who actually have a garage, or they have a space where the people can put a container. But they say, this is what they told us. That, we asked them, okay, fine, what do you do? We said, no, we've rented it out to the Ethiopian or to your Pakistani and something like that. All of the guys that you see, okay? And we asked them a question is that, would you be able to run it? And also, why are you not being accountable in terms of ensuring that it is clean and it's actually, compliant. Yes, compliant. But they're not, they said, look, they did not know. And then one of the things I said to them is that, look, are you guys aware that you need to go and register? Majority of them, they are not aware. Maybe some of them, they were lying and not sure. But if you engage with them, but there's a registration going on so that you can be compliant and all of that, they were not aware of it. But one of the startling things that people have been debating about it. Let's have the local spaza shops and all of that. What we are actually finding is that, the question that you've been asking, why you cannot have, our kids running them and all of that. What my kid is playing soccer, he goes to school, he does not have time to really run this thing. And also myself, I won't be able to go and run this thing. We're very frank and engaging. And also saying that in terms of the supply of the food and all those things that, this guy, they can do it. That part, maybe the government can come in and show you how to run a spaza shop. And one of the startling things that discoveries as well was that many of the communities and themselves, or Okoko and our aunties like that, they actually have, this spaza shop have turned into money lenders. They lend money in the spaza shops. They are in deep debts. The spaza shops are able to give them money. They're able to lend them goods like your sugar, your coffees, and all of that. And actually, that now can give a thought within the economy to development in terms of how can maybe communities can be assisted in terms of running them, in terms of the ownership and all those things. But okay, fundamentally, what I can tell you is that the spaza shops are not complying with the city. Yeah. And there are many of them. There are many. Yeah, we could not even cover a lot of them.
Yeah, and then, of course, and you've talked about how the difficulty, of course, is that shortage in inspectors. But as the registration process takes place, are you getting complaints for those that are saying, well, we need an extension, the deadline is looming. What is it, Tuesday? The deadline being Friday? The concerns that you have around that?
No, don't extend it. They don't want to comply, those guys. They don't want to comply. The way that they are so, like I said, I came out into in here in many interviews that I'm a very patient person. In an organization I'm coming from, we've been taught that, from the EFF, when you're coming in, you are trying to sort out an issue. You need to ask questions and be patient. Last year, I was lashed out as like I'm a fool. Engaging with the board of the Pakistanians, the Ethiopians, all of them. And when in that meeting, I told them that you need to ensure that you qualify the food that you are sending to spaza shops is quality controlled and everything of that nature. And also we've been engaging with the homeowners, the people who are letting them out, and saying that, and then I even engaged the Pakistani and the Ethiopians that is there a way that you can include the local content, the local people in the townships want to be part of the spaza shops. They want to be part of this economy. So I said that giving some time and all of that. But the guys, I tell you right now, they are very stubborn. They are very rude. They think that we are clowning. Because the other one, I'm telling that you're not complying, is busy smiling. And I've reached to a point where saying that let us not extend it. Spaza shops can be closed and be reopened when they comply, especially on food quality, because we're going to be killing our people there.
So let me ask you this then. Okay, so you've made the point you wouldn't support an extension of this deadline for spaza shops to be registered. So let's say we pass the Friday deadline. From next week onwards, what work then does your department do to go into these spaza shops once you realize that some of them are not registered? So what's your interaction with one spaza shop once you realize it's not registered?
No, but then we will have to close it. We'll have to enforce it. And when the deadline passes and then there's an instruction that all shops which are not complying, they're not. Actually, the exercise we are doing, by the way, on Sunday was to see our capacity to be able to look at the spaza shop in all of them to enforce the compliance, so that maybe we might not be more, but maybe what we do, we've got a manpower on JMPD, but it means that we must actually take out more officers which are on a resting day, because we've got a 4-day in out shift and a 4-day in and 4-day out shift, meaning that we might have to get them out so that we're able to cover the whole of region A and to region G, the citywide. So we'll have no other option, but they will know, because I know that when a call is made that we are shutting down, some of them, they actually do shut down. They have heard that JMPD is about to do the inspection. When we went in some of the spaza shop, they quickly closed. And what I see that they've got a very effective communication, the system which is actually there. And they will be doing this clandestine things of when you turn around the corner, they will open it up. So it means that we must be there as a law enforcement, your police, I suggested that, Kari, but you've got ward committee members which are there. You've got the councillors. Councillors are quiet. They know this spaza shop. They know these people. They are quiet. They're not saying anything. Tell me any councillor that has came in and pronounced on this issue and it's happening on their wards. We are doing like that. So we must use councillors with their ward committee members, PR councillors, law enforcement, everyone to inspect and close any spaza shop that's not compliant up until they comply, especially with the food. The food is very critical for me because people have been dying. We can't take risk on that one. Okay. If they can prove to us that the food is proper, then it's okay. I don't have an issue with that. And also, they must not sleep there because they are sleeping there. You got cats, you got rats, everything. But I think that the manpower thing, I agree with you that we might have a challenge on that one there. And I mean, to call for the military, military, you really call it when there's an act of war and everything. I don't really, it's not something that is very nice because, military, when it comes in, is an act of war. But in terms of the enforcement, I see a bit of a challenge there in terms of that. But I know that the province and the national are working on that because we've got an IGR between the province and then the national. So they're actually working out our manpower and the strategies. There's a meeting that is convened by the Premier every Tuesday, but today there was no meeting today because there was a councillor in Bizo. But every Tuesday there's an IGR we are presenting as the municipalities to the Premier in terms of what our bylaw enforcement and all of that. So that one is part of the plan as well.
All right. Well, we really appreciate the update. And of course, perhaps interesting to chat after the deadline, right? And perhaps
doing another one, by the way. Yeah. I'll be doing another between Friday before the conference of the EFF. I will have out of something happening as well.
All right, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you very
MMC there
much.
for Public Safety in the city of Johannesburg, Mgcini Tshwaku, bringing us the latest, of course, in the raids that are taking place for spaza shops in the city, as well as the action that has been taken against JMPD members who were found in a video that has gone viral on social media, believed to be drinking alcohol, partying next to a dam while sitting in a marked state vehicle. Those members have been suspended, and an investigation and certainly a disciplinary process is pending.